I'm showing you a video of my latest painting, and it will be titled Fall Fairy Lights. This is done on a 6 by 12 piece of pine that I believe I got from Homestead Stencil, and so it came by the dozen, I believe. Anyway, nice to work on. Before I started this, I coated the wood surface in with a decoupage medium to fill in any grain to make the surface a little smoother to work on. So, of course, the directions will be in the written instructions in the packet, but as you can see here, I started with a dark background and I built up layers of color. Just dibs and dabs, brushed on with a kind of a scruffy brush. And then I painted in the crock first. And you can see where I highlighted it and shaded it. The shading behind the pumpkin and the crock is done with a very small dry brush and a bit of Payne's Gray. I kind of like that better than a floating method. It gives me a softer effect. The highlights on the crock are simply white on a small brush, and the larger highlights are brushed on with a square, flat, dry brush. The star is optional, of course. But what the gist of this is to try to make little dots look like fairy lights amongst foliage. And all I did for that was make a round circle with a very tiny dry brush. And then I dotted the centers with just white, and then I went back over it and I mixed a tad of yellow into my white and did the outer glow, so to speak, on each of the fairy lights. The foliage itself is just dibs and dabs of reds, oranges, and yellows, and it's not really meant to look like anything in particular. It's just a fantasy. The line work for the stems coming out of the crock was done with a number 8 flat brush, and I worked with diluted black and burnt umber. I used the chisel edge to pull out the stems. I just did this thing freehand, and the drawing I have taken from the painting, so that for those who don't draw, you'll have something to work with. Anyway, I hope you can see the little bits of purples and the dark colors coming through underneath the lighter colors. And you could highlight this as many times as you want. You could add more colors in there if you liked, or different colors. I thought about some magenta, or maybe violet, but then I thought it would clash with the orange of the pumpkin. So that's why I've used shades of blue mixed with white, and then the purples that you see, I just made a wash of purple and dabbed it on here and there, and then I rubbed it out with my fingers. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I'm sorry. You can see the reflection from the pumpkin on the crock. But anyway, I hope you do like this. It was a lot of fun to paint. Thanks for watching.